Since you asked, I hate blacks. I hate Jews, Mexicans and Irish, Italians and Chinese. But my mouth to God's ears, I really hate those black rats. And anyone else, really, that doesn't have pure white Aryan blood running through their veins.
I'm happy to be talking to a true white American.
God bless white America.
BlackkKlansman is the newest Spike Lee joint based on a true story, but to my knowledge a lot of liberties were taken, about black cop Ron Stallworth using his white partner to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan in the 1970s. Now, there's no beating around the bush that Spike Lee is clearly someone who's very outspoken and aims to make statements.
And what does that tell you? What does that tell you? There's more police present.
Right, because it's safe.
But where was the police before white people moved into Fort Greene? Harlem.
Yeah.
The fact that this film was released 1 year after the Charlottesville rally is clearly no accident. Now, I could talk about the politics surrounding this story, but I think I'd rather judge it as a movie, not as a statement. And it's a pretty good movie. Admittedly, I'm not the most familiar with Spike Lee's work. I've seen at least 3 of his films, and they've been fine for the most part. And there is a lot to like in this one as well. Every performance here is great, with a cast led by Denzel Washington's son, Adam Driver, and a standout performance from other Venom himself, Topher Grace, as the granddaddy of the KKK, David Duke. There are some really funny scenes here, but it would be incredibly hard-pressed to call this a comedy. It gives off more of a society is fucked vibe than a good time at the movies. It's pretty well directed despite not being as stylish as something like Do the Right Thing. I like the interactions the characters had with each other, although the ones Washington Jr. had with his girlfriend were probably the least interesting, as sooner or later she'll find out he's a cop. I also like all the infiltration bits, as well as the stakes of Driver being Jewish and the fear of getting caught. These are all fine and good. But what stops me from really considering it great is that this is a very unsettling head-hammering flick. Now, I got the impression, even from his other work, that Spike Lee is not one for subtlety. This isn't to say the messages are bad, no, quite the contrary, these are all good messages. But it feels like the movie stops dead for 5 minutes to lecture the audience about itself. It made sense in context with the Kwame Ture scene at the Black Panther rally, but the Alec Baldwin part, the birth of the nation scene, and maybe the montage at the end really feel like they could have been cut down a little, or at least left to the imagination of the viewer, however that may be interpreted. Even besides that, there were some kind of odd edits throughout the film. Like in one scene where 2 characters were discussing blaxploitation stars, the posters of said movies appeared on screen, kind of like this, and it felt a little jarring, to say the least. There was another odd edit which involved Stallworth calling the supremacists while his partner is shown entering the house at the same time. Me and some of the people in the theater were all like, "Ah shit, he's gonna be found out!" But it turned out that part in the house took place after the phone call, but the way it was presented seemed like it was during. Mr. Lee, did you do that on purpose to elicit a response out of us? Was there not another way to present that in a less confusing manner? Despite those minor issues, I'd still say it's a relatively solid, if preachy, movie. Rating-wise, I'm stuck between either a 6 or a 7 out of 10, maybe a 7, though I could backtrack.